Are you basic?
I'm a basic white girl. Just kidding.
All I'm thinking is I really hope I don't get put in a situation where I'm like, okay, all right, well, we'll just show you what you're made of, Robert.
And I went to pour Austin some coffee, and needless to say, I accidentally got his hand.
And I can firmly say I am saved.
He didn't cuss. He said shoot.
I did say shoot.
Power word.
Close. It was close. It was close.
Yeah.
Cut that out.
No, we're keeping it.
Got pictures to
We're
prove
keeping it. Yeah, we got pictures to prove it. Check the comment section after this video.
I walked right into that one.
Good afternoon, Altered Call people.
We have got to get a new intro.
We got to get a new intro. That intro is
Generic.
trash.
It's so generic.
It is very generic.
I like it.
We don't have to pay for the license.
You would like it, Austin.
You are. Oh, wait. Did he just call you generic?
I guess he did.
Are you basic?
I'm a basic white girl. Just kidding. Cut that out.
No, we're keeping it.
Got pictures to
We're
prove
keeping it. Yeah, we got pictures to prove it.
I
Check the comment section after this video.
I walked right into that one.
With purse.
Oh, me.
All right. So I'm excited about this topic because I think all of us have had situations that have caught us off guard, and it kind of shows us our true heart sometimes. We kind of went into this with this thought of what would you do, which goes off the TV show, which y'all haven't watched it yet. Y'all probably know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
And it's the ABC puts it on, and it says, it talks about like what would you do in this situation, and it shows they paid these actors to go out there and do certain things, usually controversial things.
Yeah.
And then they got these hidden cameras out there, and it just shows how people react to those situations.
Yeah.
Just about 5 minutes ago, we had one of those moments on this podcast.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
We have coffee this morning because we're shooting this morning, recording this morning, and I went to pour Austin some coffee, and needless to say, I accidentally got his hand.
And I can firmly say I am saved.
He didn't cuss. He said shoot.
I did say shoot.
Power word.
Close. It was close. It was close.
Yeah.
But he made it through it, and it was my fault, and I take full responsibility for my actions. And Austin, I want to publicly apologize to you.
Well, I publicly accept your apology.
But it was kind of led us into this topic of what would you do. And then we went into this conversation. Robert had a pretty good video he watched the other day.
Well, it really made you think because I was watching it was a video, and it was a street preacher,
Yeah.
and he has somebody come up on him, and while he's preaching and he's preaching and he's good word. I mean but this guy comes up on him for being there, and he's definitely tell this guy's just way out there on something,
Right.
and just explicit words and just dropping bombs on him like crazy. And then the guy just keeps preaching, and then he just comes back, and he pulls out a on him,
Yeah.
you know, and he's standing there showing it, you know, basically like, you know who I am, and
Right.
just on, and just keeps, you know, cussing this guy, and he's saying, hey, all right, well, you know, I'm just, this is what I'm here doing. And it was, you know, you can just tell it was a manifestation of a demon,
Right.
or something, you know, coming through this guy. But the thing that kind of caught me as I'm watching it is all of a sudden, you know, it got physical, and this preacher, you know, and you see him wrestle off camera, and the preacher gets the gun away from him, And you hear them, they're going back and forth, and this guy's cussing at this preacher. Next thing I know, I hear all these bad words coming out of this preacher's mouth. I don't see him, but you can hear him. He comes back on camera, and he's just lost. He's completely out of character. I mean, of a man of God. And I'm sitting there, and the guy that was playing the video. And if we had it, I don't know if I'd show it because we didn't have the words. But anyhow, the guy was just, kind of showing it like, hey, he kept his composure really well. And he said, I believe if I'd have been in that same situation, I know he used some words and some things, but I'd have probably done the same thing. And it just kind of hit me. I thought, wow, would I get that far? Even when I'm, you're scared. I mean, adrenaline's high.
Yeah.
All those things. That's kind of like, there's a million things we're fixing to talk about. Just like, my daughter the other day, somebody pulled in front of her. Mm-hmm. I mean, and she locks it up. She got the kids in there, and just absolutely, just scared her to death. So when your adrenaline goes high,
right.
It's kind of that how you respond. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't look at him with judgment, because at first I was thinking, man, what kind of preacher are you? And I thought, well, wait a minute, I'm not. Because I don't think I would ever do that. Because I don't.
Yeah.
So, but in saying that, what do you guys think? Because the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart,
yeah,
the mouth speaks.
Right.
And I'm like, well, but the old flesh is still there too.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely hard.
You're not walking in the spirit when this guy was attacking him.
Yeah.
So he gets in the flesh, but anyhow. And it's, I thought, Lord, how would you handle yourself? And I don't want to be tested to find out.
I don't want to be tested for that.
But it was, and then, that happened with Austin right there. And then we find out.
Yeah, it happened to you, didn't it?
You just got back from New York.
Yeah.
So
you got to drink coffee before you tell this story.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, because we was walking down the street, and we first noticed him because he was walking down the middle of the road first. And he was yelling. We couldn't tell what it was. And finally, he got to the street and started walking down the streets. And when he got to us, he was, cussing and every other word, but basically saying that was going to hell, that all your earthly possessions, he's like basically saying that you're holding earthly possessions higher than God, but cussing every other word. And he was like cussing us out and spitting. Like spit literally got on our face because he was walking by.
Gosh.
Like right in our face. But after he went through, the reactions from everybody pointed out that that's not the way to go about it.
Yeah, it wasn't very life changing.
No.
It didn't really spark anything. What did you do? Did you just walk away?
No, we was like, you can't. There's so many people right there. I just like took Kenzie and pushed her over a little bit. So
got away from him.
Yeah.
You felt threatened.
Oh yeah,
almost.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, but that just tells you right there.
Right.
It's I wasn't there, but again, that's Bible tells you, try the spirits and know if they're of God or not. And when you feel that's and not just because of words, mm-hmm. but because of the intent of it and
right
and how the force that it comes at you with. The attack that feeling. So.
Well, one thing I realized is New York will definitely test that because you will get shoved every second. You will literally get shoulder checked. You'll almost get the crap knocked out of you. Like, no joke. You have to be ready to, take that. Because
you was getting beat up in New York?
Well, literally there's millions of people walking down the same sidewalk. It's so congested. You're getting shoulder checked every, second.
Did you say
And you can either get mad or just try to push your way through it. Because getting mad and, either cussing that person out or yelling at them is not going to do anything. Yeah,
it's every day for people in that situation.
Yeah,
because they live in it. So you didn't say amen to the preacher?
No,
but again, I know we were talking about how our responses, but sometimes we're so quick.
Yeah,
that rapid firing off of how we respond. But
yeah,
but but there's that wisdom comes into you as you mature in the Lord that. And and I'm thinking about this guy, the first guy I'm talking about that gets in the altercation. He's fired. He's tore up with his nerves for his life and everything.
Yeah.
And so so here he is, But I am thinking, man, you know what? He held it together for a long time.
Yeah.
Before that happened, with under pretty high pressure. So not throwing judgment there,
No, no,
but
no.
but it did make me think about how do I react to things.
Yeah.
And that was that's good. Just hey,
I thought about Daniel though when you said that. He was under a life-threatening situation, but what did he do? And I'm not saying I don't know how I would react within the tent of an attack like that, especially within his circumstances. But I especially don't want to go through that. I don't think anybody does. But it really shows sometimes who your heart, where your heart is. I think another verse would be like, what proceedeth from the heart.
For out of the
cometh
abundance of the heart, the mouth
speak.
speaketh.
Yeah, yeah.
So what? Yeah, you're right. He said he told them when they were sitting there and complaining about. He said, "You're down here. Your disciples are eating with unwashed hands." He says, "Not what goes into the
Yeah,
to the mouth, but what proceeds from it
yeah,
that defiles the man."
yeah.
But yeah, it's
Phew. So you'd go back though?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all had a good time. But I think it's good to be tested in those ways.
Oh yeah.
Because you learn from it. I'm sure that street preacher, I'm sure his videos, he still produce videos and stuff and still go out there.
he shared the video because it was him recording it.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
it's pretty bold.
I'm guessing probably there's a backstory, and probably somewhere when he originally shared it, he probably, I'm sure he turned it around because, I know when I make a mistake, one of the first things I want, we have this tendency to try to justify it or cover it up, but really the truth of it is sometimes just our best response is just to own it.
Yeah.
Say that's because ain't none of us ever had a perfect.
No,
No.
no, nobody.
Well, the lesson that you learn quickly is like when you retaliate, you do more harm than good.
Yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
You never know what the response to that retaliation is going to be.
Yeah. No,
But that's where you start turning to scripture, like, all right, well, if you get somebody smites you on
yeah.
the left cheek, offering him the other,
Right, yeah. Shoo. That's hard.
yeah,
That is hard.
yeah.
It is hard to turn that cheek and let somebody hit you on that side of the.
Well, even like figuratively, like if somebody like like on Facebook or something tries to slander your name, is it worth it to comment back and start a war on Facebook?
Yeah. No, that's good because it's like turn the page almost.
Yeah.
Well, don't you think it's real easy
Throw
to get caught
past.
up with when somebody disagrees with you? You don't use social media, just like we're on here. It's real easy for people to come at you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But the truth of it is enough years we've all seen it. Just don't let yourself get drawn into something. People disagree. They disagree, however it is, but it's still hard not to get fired up or upset.
Oh yeah, because all of a sudden you start, your blood starts boiling.
You
Your
want
adrenaline.
to
You want to
defend
say
yourself,
something.
say something, retaliate.
Yeah.
Something I've learned is, and Kara's taught me this a little bit. Being married is really key to that. But am I going to regret it later? Like I got to think of that, the later response that I'm going to get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, Robert? Austin's learning as we go.
I'm learning.
I was
But
thinking that.
and it's true. It's like, am I going to regret this later?
Is it worth?
Is it worth this 5 seconds of anger to
Yeah.
to get past to allow? We were
Is that important to think you're right?
yeah.
Yeah.
We were at we were going somewhere. I think we were going to Owensboro or something not too long ago, and I was pulling out on 70, and so I was sitting there, and all of a sudden we get to that light, that little 4-way right there in Central,
Yeah.
and we were going, and all of a sudden I look up and I turn right, or I look right, and there's this woman completely going off on me, like losing her mind, and I had my sunglasses on, and I'll be honest with you, I was a little nervous. I thought, man, this person is off the rails. And Kara was like, don't do nothing stupid. All right? Because she knows me. I'm going to do something stupid.
Yeah.
And there's been a few times in my life where I've reacted, but then what hit me was she said, remember, we got kids in the car. Or we got a kid in the car, which was Carter. It was before we had Adeline. And I just sat there and smiled. And I was like, okay, I'm maturing now. Like, I'm in a good place because most of the time I wouldn't have let that. I would have like mouthed back or rolled down my window, or I would have said something. But then I was sitting there thinking, is it worth the risk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we have to get that mindset. Is it
Yeah.
worth the risk of somebody catching me on video, even or
Either that or like trying to hurt your family.
or hurt my family
Yeah.
even? Because
Yeah.
we was in Owensboro at a concert when I was in high school, and something called the Big O. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. And it's a country music concert that they have, or they used to have every year.
Yep.
And we were leaving that concert, and there was drinking going on and everything else, and we accidentally pulled out in front of somebody, and this truck was one person was in this truck. And it
Who
was
we?
Me and a few buddies.
Who was driving?
I'm not going to say.
Okay.
I wasn't driving. I'll say that. I wasn't driving. But we were pulling out and leaving there, and this guy pulls up right beside of us and is going completely off. And we're a bunch of teenage punks, right?
This is
This is
Back
when
in the day.
Yeah, this is back in my day. And he's threatening us to pull over. And I'm sitting here with 6 of us in this truck, and my boys are wanting to pull over. And I'm going, guys, this is one person, and he sees all 6 of us in this truck. He's pretty confident. He's pretty confident. And we finally talked him out of pulling over because they were wanting to pull over. And finally we get past, and all the guys kind of calmed down. I said, that guy's too confident. Something's going on. He's got some confidence in something.
or packing some color.
Yeah, he was packing
Yeah.
some confidence. But
on
I knew
on his side. there.
Yeah. So, we could have easily been stupid there and made a bad decision. We would have
Yeah.
regretted later.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to just go on.
Yep.
Have y'all ever been in that kind of situation?
Oh, 100%.
Well, it's just I left the hospital over in Madisonville. Okay, when you leave there on the backside, like you're going to go back out toward Hobby Lobby and
Yeah.
Seven Brew and all those places, I came out to there. When you come off that hill, there's that viaduct. Mm-hmm. Well, it's it's one in, one out. It's a courtesy thing.
Right.
So I come off the hill, and then I happened to look. My phone slid, and I just happened to look over as it fell off the seat. And so I'm coming off the hill behind these people, and I'm following the car, and I'm thinking I couldn't see nobody else coming.
Yeah.
And then about the time I'm done committed, this car pulls up, and so it's kind of iffy.
Right.
But I'm like, oh man, So I'm coming out, and I'm like, man, I'm like trying to say I'm sorry, Yeah. And he looks at me and he gives me that one finger, that one
The bird.
that one finger wave. Yeah, and boy, of course, it's mine. And he leans way up to the windshield, and, toward me with it, and that mouth and running, and so I'm popping. I started hitting my brake lights real quick, and I thought, God, that's stupid. Number one, I don't need to get whipped, but. I'm too old.
So he was saying you was number one? Is that what he was saying?
I'm number one. But it was like, oh Lord, what does that even,
Right.
I thought that,
Exactly.
oh my gosh, but that initial reaction was,
Something so stupid
Yeah.
can literally just like set.
well, as a kid, what were you always told? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words and
See, I thought he was gonna
gestures
say
that-
eye for an eye.
whatever. No, that's not.
That's the bad one.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think that's where we get caught up.
I didn't wave back at it.
Good. So proud of you.
I did it. But
Oh,
he didn't give that
but to
one
be,
finger wave
remember
back.
to be Christ-like in all your deportments. So. Yeah, but I mean, all the jokes aside, it's
It is.
everyday life.
Yep.
It's how do you react, and it's not just with people.
Oh, yeah.
Situations. I'm telling my dad. I don't know.
Better be careful.
Old BP, my dad. But I was growing up. One thing I did not like helping my dad do anything mechanical. Mm-hmm. Not if I was in line where his hand was, if he was going to throw a hammer, a wrench, or but that sometimes that's just the first thing you do, or what you're working on ain't. It's not complying, so you want to let me tap it good. I'll make it work. It just doesn't work out.
I've seen.
Then you like, all right, and I got upset. If I'd have just calmed down, I could have probably fixed it. Now I tore it up, or But that applies to so many things.
Oh, yeah.
Just calm down, keep things in, and just like, all right, God, let me be vigilant. Mm-hmm. Let me be sober minded
Yeah.
to that.
It sounds so simple. when
It
you talk-
does, but it's
so hard.
It's so hard. I think the hardest thing for me was growing up was Papa. He never really got mad, like got loudly vocal. He would just the word part, man. He'd make fun of you.
Oh yeah.
So for me, my skin is pretty thick now. I was trained at a young age not to get my feelings hurt because if I held that flashlight wrong or I did something real stupid,
Oh no, there you go.
Oh yeah.
oh my gosh, it was over for me. I felt about this big after it was over with, and
Yeah.
he would. But again, it was out of love. Sometimes it's just like I was just not paying attention. I was on my phone.
Yeah.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. And,
Oh, yeah.
And was it evil? Probably not. But it was a way of. I think some things those kind of lessons are good though. Like it shows us a future out of like things we deal with now. You feel like sometimes we shelter ourselves from that.
You know, when I was talking about my dad when I was a kid, and he's such a godly man. But I'm talking about before we were walking with the Lord, before my dad was saved,
Yeah.
and and he just just that he would just some things would just set you off. Everybody's got that.
I got
little
it, yeah.
part of it, but I don't know how many times he would just get up, turn around, sling a wrench across the garage, or
Sing a or swing a
say something,
chainsaw.
or say something he shouldn't have. And I don't know how many times, but he'd always tell me, he said, son, he'd come to me because he wasn't doing it at me.
Yeah.
It was just how he displayed it.
He cannot. Oh, he can't stand when something don't work.
But he'd always say, and he'd say, son, he said, sometimes your dad's just going to tell you don't do as I do.
Yeah.
He said, don't be like me,
Yeah.
And he was, but
He looked at me one time. He said, "Son, you get your anger on us, and I'm sorry for it."
but it is.
I've seen it a few times, but not bad.
I was talking with a preacher friend of mine this morning. We were just having a discussion, but we're talking about, there's you can be angry and not sin.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There's sometimes people will do things that anger you, but don't sin. How you respond, I don't know why we're talking about this. Somebody needs to hear this, but
Yeah.
it's funny. You kind of related with you and Kara.
Yeah. I think living with somebody for
Do I need to pray for her? She's putting up with you.
no, she's putting up with me. It's her. She's good.
I know she is.
Her patience.
I know she got to be patient.
She has
with
to
you.
have a lot of patience.
Yeah, and marriage will pull that out of you really quick, especially day to day. Living together, learning each other. You're learning about each other, learning how
You got a
each
whole
other.
new dynamic now too.
Yeah,
with a new baby.
2 kids. You add stress.
Is
to that.
Samara gonna be your first big trip?
We're only taking one of the kids, so no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just one this time. But just in general.
Hey, I understand that.
I'll give you an example. This is a perfect example. First trip that we ever took with Carter as a family. We went to the mountains, and it was awful. Let me be honest. It was an awful trip. Lot of traffic. I'm not good with let's see. I'm not good with a lot of chaos, I guess. I don't handle that very well. So if a lot's going on, I get a little, and Gatlinburg is pretty crazy, especially during spring break. So you got all this traffic. We're trying to figure out where we're going to go. Kara's trying to tell me what hotel. She booked the wrong place. So the whole trip, let me set the stage here. So we're on the way there. Like I got where we're going in the direction. I've never drove there before. It's my first time I ever drove there. I've been, but I've never had to drive.
Yeah.
So we're getting there, and all of a sudden, she's telling me we're going to Pigeon Forge. And I'm sitting there going, well, the directions say Gatlinburg. She's like, no, we're staying in Pigeon Forge. You got the wrong thing in. I'm saying, okay, whatever. So we're driving, and she tells me go this way. Well, I'll go the wrong way on the way there. We ended up having to take a opposite route. I didn't even get mad. Thank God. Like, I could have got aggravated about that. I didn't. I'm thinking, I'm going to be okay. We're starting a trip. Not going to get aggravated. We hadn't been married that long, but, long enough to know that it's not worth it. And so we're still driving. We get about 2 hours away, and I'm just like, where you want to go eat at? We'll just go eat before, because we had to go take that detour because she told me the wrong place. Well, we got 2 hours out, and I put the restaurant in, and all of a sudden it's like taking me the other way. She's like, I'm confused. I was like, what are you confused about? She's like, I could have swore I booked a place in Pigeon Forge. And I said, honey, this is telling me Gatlinburg. So she looks, no, we booked a place in Gatlinburg. Didn't know where it was going to be at. Didn't know how to get there. I didn't know anything. I had my mind. You know, ever have your mind set on something? That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if anything, for me, if anything gets outside of that, I kind of start getting a little agitated because that's just the way I work.
Yeah.
Got to be. I know. David Revlett calls me drill sergeant, but but I like to have an organization. I can't help it. Well. I'm looking at her. She's calling. She's freaking out. She's calling to make sure we got the right place. Ended up, it was a fine trip, but the first day was rough.
Yeah.
Because I allowed something simple because we had a place to stay, but I allowed something simple to aggravate me, and I was the problem because I allowed that first day to be bad because I was in a bad mood the rest of the day because it just didn't go my way.
Let me ask you. You were saying that, but how guilty are some people? Like, I could get upset, but
Right.
and I'll wear it for a little bit.
Yeah, I do too.
Some people wear it all day long.
Yeah.
But I will until a lot of times I stop and I realize I don't like feeling like this. Forget it.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's what people see.
Yeah.
How we were. Well, bring this up here. We just went by. My daughter lives in apartments in Sacramento, and her car wouldn't start this morning. So we stopped by there, and we think I had some heat put in earlier in the morning. I thought maybe the line was froze up. Well, it probably was what it was. So the heat got in there and cleared it up, but she'd run the battery down. I'm thinking we're just going to start it and go.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there kind of trying to get it jump started, and we're running late to get here. And I turned around, I just took my hand, I slapped the window on my truck, sitting there like, golly, and I'm just, and I'm looking around like, who saw me act like an idiot?
Thank God my truck windows are tinted.
Yeah, no, I was out standing outside.
I know. I'm talking about me though.
No,
sometimes I get mad by myself. Somebody pull out in front of me.
Oh yeah.
I can't help it.
Like, oh.
I feel like a lot of men.
I walked away laughing at myself,
Oh yeah.
trying to act like I was laughing at myself.
I think the older I've gotten, the better I've handled situations like that. I think it comes with maturity, but I still sometimes lack it in certain situations. I'll be honest and transparent.
How long does it take though? It don't take but a minute. Who shows up?
Yeah.
Who's right there? I mean,
conviction.
Here's a rapid response.
Yeah.
Holy Ghost,
Yeah.
Christ in me.
Yeah.
Just like, oh,
It's automatic.
yeah.
It's almost like.
Conviction, like, watch what you say.
But then you get the pride thing too, where she took the fault for booking the wrong place, and we laugh about it now, and it was something simple as that aggravated me, and we wasn't that bad of a deal, but it still aggravated me, and it aggravated her,
Yeah.
and then she was mad at me because I was mad at her, and then it became this silly, quiet. You ever had a quiet argument where you don't talk to each other in the car, but you're mad at each other?
Are you talking about the silent treatment?
Yeah. You ever got that yet, Austin?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Ashton, you ever got that?
I've got it. And let me tell you, because God knew I had to have a special, special woman in my life to put up with me.
Yeah. Amen.
Because I found out when she's being quiet,
You're in trouble.
allow her. No, I don't. I won't let her. I'll let her come out of that on her own.
Yeah, I'm working
because
on that one.
if I get her, if she gets upset enough to let out,
Yeah.
and I deserve it, But
Well, I think
I
the
do
thing to
too.
remember, like in all those key moments, is like whatever you say does not come back.
Oh, it's a toothpaste theory.
Yeah, it is.
Whatever you pull
whatever
out of
you
it.
lash out of your partner or whatever, it's gone.
you said that.
This guy.
Well, hey, listen, as a young Christian, me and John, we came to Church Street years ago,
Yeah.
and we were young, 19 years old maybe,
Wow.
and 19, 20, and we'd been together for a couple of years, but anyhow, March of 1990 was when I got saved, but we started coming here in 89, and but anyhow, she's such a good soul for my life.
Right.
And we went through a lot of things, and she dealt with me, my temper, and it's a miracle she's put up with me, stayed, But anyhow, but after I got saved and she gave her heart to the Lord, we got married. And I remember one night we would get together in the evenings, and it'd be a lot of times be me, Brother Danny, your Uncle Phil, and some different ones. We'd get together, man. We'd get in the Word, and it'd be 8 or 9 o'clock. We'd show up together, and we'd be there to late. And I remember one night I was telling them, "Listen, Matt, I've got to work on this, because I just get mad and I just say whatever."
Yeah.
I ain't talking about cussing but I'm just talking about if it was mean, hurtful, whatever.
Yeah. That's just as
like,
bad.
Boom. Yeah, it is as bad.
Yeah, I think we get
and Brother Danny looked at me, and God gave him a word. He said, "Robert," he said, "I'm going to tell you." He said, "Those words," he said, imagine. So imagine you're holding a rock. That word, what you're fixing to say, is like a rock in your hand. He said, "You're holding it." He said, "Let me tell you, you can rear back." He said, "But when you let it go," he said, "it's gone."
Yeah.
He said, "And when it gets there, when it hits," he said, "it's going to hurt."
Yeah.
He said, "It could leave scars." He said, "And it can kill." He said, "But what we're going to pray is God catch, Lord, help me catch that.
Yeah.
That I don't, that young and just learning, but I've never have let that go."
True. That's good.
I have
That is
shared
good.
that with so many young people, young couples, that patience thing that you don't pray for patience, but we got to have it.
Yeah.
And, but that self, one of the fruits of the Spirit is what? Temperance, right?
Yeah.
Self-control.
Yeah.
Lord, I need to remain in the Spirit of God where I'm doing the right things.
That's good, man.
And but that was something our pastor shared with me years ago, and it
Yeah.
was good.
The thing too that I thought about too, no matter how hard you throw it, it still hurts.
Yeah.
It's still pain.
It's going right. It's doing
Pain is
damage.
pain.
It'll damage no matter what.
It's going to hurt. So, I mean, yeah, you can have some soft, lofty, what you consider soft and lofty words and think, well, it's not that big of an argument, but there still will be remnants of that.
Oh,
wherever it's
yeah.
at. And I think, too, it's like, for me, part of that growth is like trying to navigate truth. You know what I mean? You want to be truthful. If something bothers you or something, but you got to learn when to let it out and how to handle it.
Yeah.
Certain things. Like, I think it's good to have a conversation with somebody.
Oh,
Like, if
yeah.
you don't disagree or anything like that, I think that's okay. That's healthy to have those conversations. But it's, Kara says a lot of times it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Oh yeah. 100%.
That's where I struggle, I guess, the most.
Yeah.
Is like my temperament seems like I might not be mad at her,
But you
But
just
it's-
want to lash out.
but it comes off like I'm mad at her.
Yeah.
And I'm not really. It's nothing directional. It's
Yeah.
omni, really. I'm
But-
mad at everything.
But isn't
right
that
now.
psychological? And it comes out to think about texting. I've always told
Yeah.
people that if it's very important, you better be careful in a text. We talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
because if you're in a bad mood, if you're mad or whatever, it's so easy for somebody to answer you, and if it doesn't have any emotion, so you don't hear the tone, you don't see the look, right? The emotion
Yeah.
that comes with it. So, that, and we talked about this before, but that's why they came up with these emojis. So
You're right.
people like, hey, I'm laughing, it's a joke, it's funny, whatever. But why? Because if we think somebody's, people don't know how to take it.
Right.
If it's bland or angry, or if we're in a bad mood, and that's for everybody. You come home from work. I remember hearing this story about a guy that he would come home, and said, man, he go to work and he worked hard. So man, he put up a lot of, just customers, and it was just the worst day. Said he'd walk up on the porch, and every day he walked up on the porch, he would do like this right here, and take like he was hanging a coat on a hook outside. And one day, one of his neighbors asked him, I did see you do that right there. He said, man, first, I just wanted you to know that I think a lot of you, man. You just got a great family and all this. And he said, can I ask you why you do that? He said, well, that's just my reminder every day that I leave If it's anger, hurt, pain,
Yep.
whatever that is, I leave that outside. Where I don't
That's
carry
good.
that into my family.
That's deep.
Where I'm what they need, and the boy's good.
You know, friendships, any type of relationship that you carry can be affected by these type of things.
Sure.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, the
Sure.
self-control is
No
so
doubt.
key. And I love that too, because it's like, for you, I think sometimes my words are not bad. It's just my expression with those words. So even my expression on how I'm handling it, the way I'm handling it without even the words itself can be detrimental in a conversation. And that's why you said something about the emojis. I like that because it's so true. I've seen people put like post on Facebook and leave it pretty bland.
Yeah.
And you can take it and navigate it and look at it in a way without really understanding where the person's coming from or their view.
Yeah.
And then it's so dangerous because you don't really know, if you've ever sat down and had a conversation with them, you'd understand what they're really talking about.
Here's a good thought here, because we've talked about words we say and actions, but how many times have you wanted to respond to Austin or anybody here that's, man, we're just typing something out, and then you sit there and you go delete.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I can't put that out. Just like a lot of times, we don't have to put everything that upsets us
On Facebook.
on Facebook, or social media. We just, and I know what's funny about that is you can get on there and say, I just tell you right now you can do this, but you're not going to get by with how you treat people, and you don't ever name a name. You know how many people's on there like, was he talking to me? Is she talking to me?
Leave it pretty.
No, I can't believe you did this. And
And then it's like, well, I didn't call them out or I didn't tag them. I mean, yeah, but you basically should have because you
Yeah.
you basically explained everything about them.
but putting that dirty laundry out there, or that just that, that's sometimes it just that God help me.
I did it. I made a mistake. I might have probably made multiple mistakes, but I've definitely made one.
himself there.
I've made multiple mistakes, but I definitely made one in this category of topic. I'm not going to explain the situation because it's just not a good. Yeah, but anyways, I did share something one time, my personal conviction towards a topic that was very intense,
Yeah.
and I had some repercussions for that,
Yeah,
and I learned something real quick. Not everybody's going to agree with you, and you ain't going to change them by putting a post out there.
No.
so that's
100%.
You're right.
I'm not saying there. I think you have. Thank God for the freedom of speech, but you don't have the freedom.
To change somebody's mind.
Well, no, you don't have the freedom of the repercussion from it.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be consequences for your actions. You got that freedom to speak, but that don't mean that what you say can't get you in trouble or get you fired. Or I hate that. But it's just life.
Was that the theory of relativity?
Yeah, for sure.
That.
What comes around goes around, basically.
Well, every reaction
has a reaction.
Equal or opposite
Yeah.
reaction. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
What comes?
I don't know. Relativity, I don't know. It's scientific, I guess. I know what you're talking about now.
But it's true, because you're literally not going to change anybody's opinion. You're just stating your own. That's
Yeah.
But you have to be good with that. But I always loved it. But Brother Danny always quotes this, but beware of the one everybody speaks well of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm good in that, because not everybody's gonna speak well. But what he was getting at in that is that I'm gonna own who I am, and I'm not gonna change what I think when I'm around you, and just to buddy up with you or what. And I'm gonna live my conviction. Now I'm not gonna. That doesn't mean I'm gonna beat you up with my words and my thoughts. But you got to be who you are, because if you're not who you are, you're not
really being true to
Well,
yourself. Yeah.
Was it Rabbit or Jeff Easter would say, you got to be who his daddy told him. He said, son, you got to be who you is, because if you ain't who you is who you ain't.
Yeah, I can't ever get that quote right. When he says that, I get tongue twisted there.
Yeah.
And sometimes we see stuff on Facebook and we think, well, that's the gospel.
Yeah.
Beating on the table,
Yeah.
going, that's the truth. And if we really, your views now compared to when you was 19 years old have totally changed, I would assume.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And through the years as a young Christian, there's things that I grew through and things that I would think or understand, and God would bring me along and teach me. Of course, the one thing I found out it's true to work out my own salvation with fear and trembling.
Yeah.
And to study that word for yourself, pray it, and get in the word of God. But it's that time and relationship you put in there, because in the end of it, we're talking about our reactions, and there's one word, but that action.
Yeah.
what we do. Why do we do it?
Yeah.
But God help me to do. And if it's like if you tell somebody you're going to do something, it might not be an anger issue or did you keep your word?
Yeah.
And when you say, "Oh man, I forgot," and you could be apologetic, but the truth of it is, if we really care about something, are we going to get? Because the things we really want to do, we'll do.
Yeah.
You know,
talking about like an integrity.
Yeah. Maintaining your integrity in the Lord before, people and everything that you do, how you conduct business. Be honest, be fair, be right, and not always trying to position yourself that no matter what, I'm going to come out on top here.
Yeah.
Just really
That's good.
And it goes back to like why you're doing it. If like just as say, because we all, it's all because I've heard Brother Danny bring it up. A drunk knows he's a drunk, a drug addict knows he's a drug addict, and you preach in the street saying he's going to go to hell, ain't going to help.
No.
But what's going to help is saying that there's a God that loves you more than any drug or any alcohol that can save you.
Yeah,
Imagine
he or she knows
Yeah.
what they are.
Yeah.
They don't need you throwing it down there. That ain't going to do. That's going to do more damage than good. They don't want a rhetoric of I know I'm wrong, but here's the good news: Jesus saves.
Yeah.
well,
changes.
but you're talking about when people get out there and they're just really what would be the word? Really dogmatic
Yeah,
Yeah.
and spewing legalisms and
Yeah.
this and just when I call it just that hateful.
When you
preaching
said
and-
street preacher,
yeah,
I'll be honest with you. Like almost like you hear, from my standpoint, because this is all I've ever seen. When I hear that word, I almost think that message there, the dogmatic, the
Yes.
spew of hate. I'm not saying everybody's under that category. I've seen
Yeah.
some. There's a church, there's a minister out of England that I've been watching on TikTok. He got charged with something or got removed not too long ago. But he can't preach in these corners. He keeps getting kicked out of these corners of preaching and all this stuff. It's a pretty big deal. And his stuff is honestly, it's a blessing. He's almost like Bryce Crawford for over there.
Yeah.
And but I can tell from his heart, that
Yeah,
it's good
yeah.
stuff. But
Yeah.
for the most part, majority, I see that dogmatic thing. So unfortunately, I think a lot of people perceive that, so they just walk on by, don't pay attention, and all that stuff. So it's
Yeah.
the reaction of it.
So I'm glad you said that because I was watching one, and I've been you talking about Gatlinburg. I've been up there when he was standing out up there. Some of them would be really good and preaching. You may be in this, and you may be broken in addictions, and
Yeah.
and then preaching the hope of the gospel, and boldness and truth, but with love.
Yeah.
Do what you do with love,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
But then I'd see them that would be out there, and you're like, man, I'm just cringing. Like, as a Christian, that's the how it's presented was, and I don't mean to say that wrong, because there's times that it has to. That's the way it's going to come.
Yeah.
So
like-
it's, again, we talk about things that, just because I think something doesn't mean they're wrong.
Yeah.
For those that could get defending, and I don't mean that. They're just there's a reason you're out there that's more than just being loud, of which you have to be. But it's about why are you there? What are you presenting? I don't know how we got here on this, but
Hey, we're
I
here.
think it's my
but
fault.
it is. Well, no, but you know what? But just like that guy,
Yeah.
that I started with, that he was preaching. I don't know how long he's even been a Christian.
Yeah.
He's
you
a
don't
younger guy. I don't know, So he's out there trying to do the work and the will of God,
Yeah.
and he, you know what, he messed up on his response, his reaction, but I think when he shared it, I think part of the humbleness of that wasn't like say here I think part of the humbleness is sometimes things can get the best of you,
know. Right. And that's one thing I like how you brought that up too, is not saying putting street preachers in a category or anything like that, but you might not be a street preacher, quote unquote,
But it can be just.
but you can minister on, you have just
Facebook.
as much power, if not more, on the social media platforms
Yeah.
in presenting the gospel to people than you've ever had. And you are just how you handle things on Facebook. You can look in 45 different directions and not have to be like people pass that intersection probably all the time wherever you were at,
Yeah.
but not everybody does. But there's traffic
Yeah. Oh.
constant
Yeah.
on those platforms,
Yeah.
and you can see it just by even commenting, how you respond to a comment. It might not
Yep.
be the post that you shared, but it might be how you respond to somebody in those comments that could even show that interaction or reaction with somebody.
Yep.
And with texting especially, and even text messaging or anything, commenting, you don't really know how people are. So I think it's so important to know how to respond.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's response with anything because, like you said, a person can be going through, marriage problems, almost facing divorce, or, just different battles. And you say, well, this causes you to go to hell. This drug causes you to go to hell. Or what will actually help them? Hope.
Right. Because
Love.
ultimately, those things ain't sending you to hell. Not knowing Jesus,
Is.
Amen.
Yeah.
it's
Amen.
not being born again. That's the one thing that keeps us. That He is our hope. That's the gospel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Christ Jesus. What Paul say? For Christ Jesus came into this world to save sinners, of who I'm chief. I can't put I'm not no better than you.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not gonna sit and act like I'm all. I mean, I love what we say, and it's not to try to justify any wrong, but I'm a mess. I've said this a couple weeks back. I do not like me without Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't like
No.
I don't like that version.
Yeah,
Me
this
at
ain't-
all. I have enough trouble with liking myself anyhow. I get so frustrated, at
Right.
myself.
Oh, yeah. We're definitely not going to be perfect.
Yeah,
And that's why we
Just like
believe and we trust.
strive
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, that's good. It's to me, the main thing here is this is not a pedestal moment. We're not saying we always react the best way.
Oh, no.
It's more
Trust
of
me.
a thought-provoking conversation because I think a lot of times
Because we don't always.
we don't always
Right.
respond the right way. So these conversations are so important to learn from and to listen to. Like
Yeah.
I've learned so much this morning from you guys because I've never really had that experience like you have in New York. I've never been there. I've never been around really many street ministers. I don't know how I would react in that situation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, talking about the really crowded.
Yeah, I don't know how I would react to that situation. I don't know how I would react to that situation. Well, I think I maybe would when you get pulled out in front of that guy and he gave you the number one. But I've had that happen a few times.
But when you're by yourself, it's like it's easy to do something,
Yeah.
because you think nobody sees. Like there's no telling if how many more times that would happen with the coffee. Would I act the same? Would I say the same? If it's somebody I didn't know, somebody I didn't like, if they spill coffee on me, I would have thought they probably did it on purpose. Would I say the same thing?
Hey,
Because I was sitting last night at our Christmas thing for the kids, and I seen a specific child upset. I'll say that, and I was laughing, but then I was sitting there thinking, if that was Carter, I wouldn't be laughing. I'd be aggravated. I wouldn't think it's so cute, even though it's the same response
Yeah.
from him and the same reaction that he usually gives, the throwing the head back, the aggravation, the stiffening up.
You get so worried, especially when you're preaching. Or you
Yeah.
get so worried about Carter.
Yeah, well, it's just you can't help it. It's almost like it seems natural in some ways. I'm not saying it's right, but it seems natural sometimes to just fall in that place of being more aggravated or agitated with people that you love
Yeah.
because of the expectation. But in the same breath, it's like we're all human.
Yeah.
We're all learning. Carter's learning about this as much as I'm learning about this.
Yep.
well, I told you, my dad, he turned 76 this year,
Yeah.
and he still can go and work, and
He does not stop.
he is a remarkable man, and
Love him.
he's a man's man, but he's a godly man and a good
Yeah.
man. But that's those are lessons that he taught me, just in who he was and how he is, and that I've told him so many different times. I said, Daddy, he'd always say, "I hope you." I'll share this as a Sid Rose quote talking about with his dad, and about when you're correcting or whatever you're doing. And, my dad's like, the farther in life he's gotten, he's pouring more and more out because I guess he's just looking harder himself. He's like, man, I want everything lined up here. But Sid said that his dad told him one day, Brother Sid Rose, it said, son, I don't know what the right words here are, but he said, I want you I hope and I pray that I can teach you and you learn from my mistakes where you don't make them. He said, but if you don't, he said, please, he said, for the goodness sake, learn from your own.
Yeah.
And that's that, we talk about, I learned, your first child is, I don't know. But your first child kind of catches, by the time you get to your second or your third one, you're.
Why? Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Yeah.
It's
the kids all freak out because, like, with grandchildren, like, well, you didn't let us get by with this one. Yeah, you my kid. Yeah, you go home. Mom,
you take even that step right there of just having a grandchild.
Yeah,
it makes a difference.
It does.
It's wild how we work like that.
Well, a lot of it was because we learned from our mistakes raising our children. We weren't always right. Probably didn't do everything just right. Could have done it better. Our intentions were always good, and sometimes, it's like I just cannot stand to watch somebody grab a kid by the arm and snatch them and yank them around, pulling their arm out, and you're like, don't you tell me how to raise my kid, kind of thing. But I'm talking about. There are just certain ways to handle themselves. And I'm like, Lord, please, we've talked about all these things, and I've never done a lot of these things.
Well, I think y'all did a perfect job raising me because I was perfect when I was young.
Oh, see, I knew it was going to give me.
We are still in church, even though we're in this building. I've heard too many stories, and I've lived so
I think everybody that knows me get test, I was perfect.
Well, what I'm saying? I'm not, everybody gets reached down, you get old to your kid, like, come on now. But I'm talking about, I've just seen that just.
Oh yeah,
so angry like this. When I get you around behind the car, I'm thinking, pull your ears off and tear your hair out. But there's a way to do everything.
Did I ever make you feel that way?
Oh gosh.
Oh hey,
you've made me feel that way, so I know you made him feel that way. Silent treatment. Yeah, you're about to get it.
Tell me,
but it's those. I think with that, it's the maturity aspect of it too, because you've been through it before, with your children, and it's a different type of love too. I would assume, because people tell me like when before we had kids, we had Aubrey and Willa, my nieces, and I love them like
your own,
like my own. Yeah, it's just like can't explain it, which I can explain it, but it would take forever how much I love them girls. But people would be like, you don't understand, when you have your own kids, it's even greater love. And then I've heard people say the same thing, when you have grandkids, it's an even different type of love. Not that that it's magnified or anything, it's just different.
Well, one of the things I'd always heard, and I don't know why we're going this direction, but real quick, and I heard somebody say this one time. It was we call him Mudcat. It's Jamie Burden, and he said, we were talking about grandkids, and I remember him telling me, and he was talking about when one day I'd have grandkids because they'd already started having some, their grandchildren, and he said, number one, first thing is they named them right. They're grand, and he'd also talk about his great grandchildren a little bit later, But he said the one thing he thought it was is that because, the kids think, well, you love them more than you love us. I said, no, I love them because it's like getting another chance with you. Because they're part of, that's, and also I'm older, got more time. I don't have as much pressure on me, so it's.
You're in a different aspect of your life.
Yeah. And when I'm tired, I'll send them home.
Yeah. The stress is a little bit different. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah.
I don't know why we went down that rabbit hole, but it's true, because I think our reaction sometimes is the older we get, the more we go through the better we handle things, the better, easier it is in some ways with life.
Well, for some people, their reactions get better. The others, they get more stubborn.
Yeah, I think sometimes we get more set in our ways,
Yeah.
certain things, and don't let. I mean, that's true. Everybody's there's differences, right?
Yeah.
But what the beautiful thing about it is we grow in grace if we really truly live for God and
Yeah.
truly try to, because the tongue is very dangerous. How we speak, how we handle
Yes.
things, how we react. Sometimes, and nowadays, how we text. It goes even deeper.
Yeah, I could get into how y'all all talk to each other when you're gaming. And
You could even go down that route. Yeah, you
a
could.
lot of Discord.
Yeah,
Listen,
a lot of literally Discord.
Yeah, a lot of Discord on Discord. But
Listen, it's fun though because
I think that's what makes you grow, though. Is like sometimes, that you ever had a friend that's kind of you hard on your friends. You had brother Danny.
no, he's hard on me. He's talking about.
Yeah, but sometimes it helps too because I think sometimes the hardest people they're hard, being hard on me in situations. It learned, while the reaction probably wasn't the best, I learned from it. I learned that.
Well, I learned
keep my mouth shut and
I
don't
learned
talk
thick
back.
skin from Danny Green, just like you.
Yeah, I learned that.
Because you make a mistake, he was ready to pounce, and I say that in a good way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He loved to have fun with it.
Tough love
He
is
was
tough love.
he is quick.
Legit.
He is
quick.
very quick.
It's
Tough love is legit.
mine. It's still sharp as a razor, man.
I appreciate that though. I appreciate the tough love sometimes because you need it, especially when you're younger and you're not. You think you know everything. If you're in that season where, you think you know everything. Some people haven't grown out of that, but. And not
Why'd you
point
look at
fingers.
Austin?
No, I didn't. My eyes went left.
I do
All I
not
said.
think I know everything. I just know most things. Just kidding.
But with that, the tough love, it's sometimes needful.
Yeah.
It's the flipping of the table. That's where I kind of get that. That was tough love that he gave out. Sometimes people say, I want to flip a table. Sometimes you need to flip a table. And I think right then and there, is your heart in the right place because you don't understand where his love was coming from
Yeah.
when he flipped that table, the reaction, why he gave that reaction.
Yeah.
It wasn't out of anger or sinful anger.
Righteous
It
indignation.
was righteous.
He was right. He was right to be upset. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He was completely right.
But so many people want to be that. They want every moment to be I need to flip this table.
Flip the
I need to
table.
cause this discord. I need to, cause this fight. And honestly, sometimes that reaction's not needed.
No.
And that navigation there is, for me, is where I see a lot of us as humans.
Well, we're here. This is what about a week and a half before Christmas.
Yeah.
We're closing out the end of this year. Of course.
Crazy.
Well, as we do though, but everybody's got their New Year's resolutions that'll be.
Hey, save that topic.
They'll be thinking about, but kind of really the truth is that we're, Lord, let me be better.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I just, and I really, the longer I live, the more I understand I have no room to judge anybody.
No.
But because I will say, because the Word of God says it and you proclaim it, and I believe the Word also tells you if you're going to preach the gospel, you live the gospel,
Yeah.
right? But to present things in life in a way you think Jesus would do it, And I know that WWJD was, that was around before it was a thing.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
Because it really is, because he lived the life
Yeah.
and showed us, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I don't react like I used to. I still don't
Yeah.
always react just right.
No,
I still can get my feelings hurt, and
Oh yeah.
and act like a soul up, realize that somebody saw how I took that wrong, But but I know what the old saying is, I'm not
who I used to be.
what I'm not. I know I'm not what I ought to be.
Yeah.
But thank God I'm not who I used to be or what I used to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's still working on me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same here.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, man. I appreciate y'all.
That was a good
I'm-
conversation.
I'm thankful for y'all. I'm glad you're back
for
from
y'all.
New York in one piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
You almost got your watch stolen from you twice.
Once.
Once.
Yeah.
Okay. Story's going around twice. That makes you look tougher though.
Yeah.
How was your reaction to that?
I've heard
As we
several
close out.
different stories.
What's the truth? Let's hear the truth about the story real quick.
Well, the truth was, so when you go in, you have to take off all your stuff.
Where you going into?
Yeah.
Just at the Empire State Building.
Okay.
So when you put all your stuff in the bin, they take it through, and all that, and then all of a sudden, there's so many people that's going that same line, and they're trying to take that bin. So I just try to hurry up and grab everything. So we get through. I try to get out of the way, and all of a sudden, I realize I don't have my watch.
Oh, so it's after you've come back out.
Well, no, it's not out. We was going through.
Oh,
still
you,
going
I just went
oh,
through.
okay. It has to
So
pass
I'm-
through security like an airport.
Yes, it's just like an airport.
Okay.
So, because it goes through X-ray, they literally you can see it go on the screen as everything goes through. So I get through, and we're just standing there, and all of a sudden I see my watch is not there. I start looking at my pockets, everything, because I hurried up and grabbed everything before they took the bin because I was about to take it. So I was like, "Dang it, it's gone." So she was like, "Let's just go back and look real quick," because I was just like, it's gone. Because how would you ever find it with that many people?
Right.
So we go back and I start pinging it because, you have that Find My.
Yeah.
So I start pinging it. And all of a sudden we heard it faint and then it was gone real quick. And then it happened again. Then all of a sudden one of the main guys, security guys, walked up and he was asking what was going on. I told him what was going on. He said, well, nothing's been lost. Nothing's been found. It would have been directly turned to me or I would have seen it. Then all of a sudden, I ping it one more time. And we're about to walk off, and all of a sudden you heard it really loud. And I look over there, and then one of the workers had it in his hands, and he was looking down at it. And then finally I say, right there, over there it is, or something like that. And he said, oh, and he looked at me, this is yours. And then finally he handed it to me. But every time
he was
tried
trying to silence it
yes.
every time. Yeah.
I'm glad you got it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like somebody come and took it off of you and
No.
Man, we created
bumped
a
it.
Wild West story.
I
for
also
you.
heard something about a chair.
I didn't hear this one.
I heard something about a chair. Ashton over there.
Is it Ashton?
So Austin is like John Wayne of New York, if y'all haven't know.
It was very eventful. Like certain things happened, but it's funny.
He loved it. He absolutely loved New York.
Oh yeah, it was really good.
New York City.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll definitely go.
You hear a
back.
lot of Frank Sinatra while you were there?
Honestly, no.
You just don't get your picante sauce from New York City. You remember those commercials?
Yeah,
No, I don't. Do you?
I think I do. I think I know what you're talking about actually,
I don't know what you're talking about.
but it was really interesting. I liked it.
So, back in one piece. We'll drop this episode this week.
Yep.
Excited. Ready for our Christmas
Yes.
episode.
Yes.
You going to sing songs?
If you want me to.
Yeah, I think you started off with some Christmas carols.
We wish you a merry.
We might do a live.
Yeah. Yeah.
Might drop a live. You think so?
I think we need to drop a live.
I think it'd be fun. Maybe
Oh,
we get the girls on. Maybe not.
Yeah, we'll do a little reflection of
Like we talked.
like we talked about.
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
That'd be good.
We won't spill coffee on his hand.
Yep. I'm out of coffee now.
I am too.
Yeah, mine's dry too.
You good?
Yeah.
Y'all got anything
I'm good.
else?
I'm good. I've enjoyed it.
Coffee's out.
Coffee's
We're good.
out.
Enjoyed
It's
it.
getting
Appreciate
cold.
folks that's listening and
God bless
watching.
y'all.
Thank you, Ashton, again for coming in as you faithfully do for us.
Producer.
Thank you, Ashton.
Producer.
You are so amazing.
You look pretty good too.
Yeah.
Heard
Yeah.
you look like your older brother.
Yeah. Rocking that UK
I don't know.
sweatshirt.
I don't think we need to bring that up.
Yeah, not here.
Not right now.
No.
We might not. We might be good.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
No, no.
All right. God bless y'all. Thank
See
y'all.
ya.